Hi everyone, welcome back to KeoTalks. Today I'm going to be talking about personal insight questions, the most dreaded part of the college applications. I know a lot of you guys are struggling with this personal insight question portion of your college applications, but no fear, you have me here. I'm here to provide some tips and advice for you guys to think about before writing your personal insight questions. I have done this twice. I've done it as a high school senior and I've also done it as a transfer student. And through my experiences, I realized that there are a couple things that I should pay attention to. So I'm here to share it with you guys, and before you guys write your essays, I would like you guys to take account to all of this information. I want you guys to watch this video from beginning to end so that you guys have the tips and tricks before writing your personal insight questions essays. Because I know you guys are going to be struggling, because I struggled too, and so did many other college students, and I really hope that you find some insight from this video. Also, I would like you guys to subscribe to KeoTalks for more college information videos and college how-to videos. I will be doing a lot more of that on this channel. I would like you guys to like, comment, and share to those that you feel will benefit with this video. Without further ado, let's begin. Do you guys remember the time you guys did bubble maps and Venn diagrams? All those brainstorming techniques that teachers wanted you guys to use to better explain something? Use those techniques here. This is the perfect time to use brainstorming techniques because you have to brainstorm about yourself and what you need to write. How do you know what to write? How do you know what to put up? Do you just put up a minute's worth of something that you volunteered for, or are you going to put up something that you volunteered for like 5 years? You have to see the significance of things that you would like to portray to these colleges. So what are you going to portray? You can't know just by thinking too much about it. You want to have it on paper. The best way to brainstorm is to brainstorm on basic pencil paper, okay? So you will have like a bubble map of me, and you will write about all the things, all of the adjectives that you would describe yourself. So for me, personally, I would like to describe myself as a person who is kind and person who devotes her time to volunteering, and I really have good time management. So those are some traits about me. Now think about the traits about yourself and think about what you want to tell others. Of course, these have to be good traits because you want to present the best self to other people. If you don't know what to write about, what traits you want to put up, or you don't know what activities that might help you look good, if you have a resume, this is the perfect time to use it. Your resume will show all the things that you have accomplished, so you will pick the best ones that you would like to showcase. The UCs and the privates and public schools probably do not use your resume on the application process, but the personal insight question portion is the perfect place for you to incorporate some things from your resume to make you stand out as a better applicant. Just a note to you guys, not every story has to be a sob story. I know that there are a lot of you guys who are thinking that sad stories will capture the people who are reading the essays, but that is not always true. You want to write stories that are compelling, but also relevant to yourself and how you developed your self-growth from it. When I was younger, I was made fun of because I was so tall, so I thought about making some kind of story along the lines with my height, but it actually has no significance to who I am today. I think there are so many more accomplishments that I've done that outweighs that really small sob story that I carry with me. So I totally recommend that you guys do not include sob stories if you guys do not have a compelling story and something that builds your character. One important question you should be asking yourself when you're thinking about these experiences is, what does this experience reveal about yourself? Yes, you will have to explain it, but ultimately you want to pick the experiences that best represents yourself. So for example, For me, I really like volunteering, and I volunteered for like the 2 years that I was in community college. I really like talking about that aspect of myself. The main aspect isn't just my kind gesture to my community, it was just my engagement to the community. I was really involved. I was involved in the LA Chinatown, I was involved in my old high school, I was involved in the Monterey Park Hospital, I was involved in the LA Food Bank. I really just liked dipping my hands all over the place so that these people have the opportunity to get some of the help that they needed from me. I also talked about like my time management and how it helped me become a better student and all that good stuff. I will be talking more about my UC application essay for personal insight questions in another video, but for now we're just talking about how to get started for your UC or your private or your public personal insight questions. The basic things that you should keep in mind when you are thinking about what to write. When doing these personal insight questions, you also have to keep in mind that you get to pick questions. For UC schools, there are 7 questions that you can do. For freshmen, I think it's just numbers 1 through 6. And for transfers, you have to do number 7, that's mandatory, and you get to pick 1 through 6. And you pick questions that best suit you and how you can tell people about your experiences. I recommend talking about like community engagement. I recommend talking about how you can deal with people and your character growth as a person through these 4 years or 2 years that you've been in school, because this really brings out yourself. This is the part where normally people would have like an interview to get to know the applicant, but since there's so many of you guys applying for these schools, there's no way they can interview all of you guys at the same time. So this is the only way that they can get to know you. So make sure that you guys write about your engagement with the community and how it affected you. Every experience that you talk about, always refer it back to yourself. This whole essay is about you. It shouldn't be about anybody else. You want to include how things play to your strengths, how things play to your weaknesses, but they made you stronger. These are very, very important things to think about when you are starting to write these essays. You want to pick questions that pertain to you. You don't want to pick questions that are weakening to your character. You want to pick questions that make you stand out and shine bright to these people. You want to stand out from your peers, not just be another little fish in the pond, okay? So the best way is to pick your questions carefully and answer them. You have the choice to pick these questions. They give you a variety of questions. Except for transfer students, sometimes you guys have to do one mandatory. But for the most part, you guys get to pick your own question. So why not answer to your strengths? You have to pick questions that are relevant to you. Back to the brainstorming part, you have to pick experiences that are relevant to you. Now you have to pick questions that are relevant to your experiences and you. Most of these questions are broad in general, so you guys can take your pick, but make sure to do your research and look within yourself and look at your resume, look at your old writings, look at what you've done, ask your family of what they think about you, and you can actually form what kind of questions that you want to answer. Before doing personal insight questions, I recommend that you guys set up a structure for all of your questions and your answers, because there are certain questions that will have a limit to how much you can write and the minimum of what you can write and how much you need to include in your essay about talking about yourself. So you want to really pay attention to the rubric, but also structure your essay so that it's easy to read for the reader. I am here to remind you that there are people reading your essays. It's not just robots scanning your paper. It is people on the other side who is going to read thousands and thousands of essays. So how are you going to stand out from the rest if you just BS your way through this questions, brainstorming, and there's no structure? They won't even look at it. They're just going to look at some keywords and then pass it on to another person. So you really, really want to take the time to make an outline for all of your answers and how you're going to structure them. So generally, I would like to go from broad to detail and then to like a broad statement again to reiterate whatever I just said. I'm going to be showing you guys my PIQs in the next video. I'll show you how I break down what I've written. For the most part, I follow that general rule. So what if you want to write something but it's too short or it's too long? You have to make sure you meet the words requirement. Some of them is like 150 words, some of them is a 300 requirement words. Make sure you take up all of those words. You want to use the maximum there is. You have this amazing story to tell, and you're only telling it in like 2 sentences is not enough. You want to tell the story so that you get your point across. Your point is to prove to them that you are an amazing character and you want to show them what kind of person you are and that you deserve to go to that school. When you guys start out, I know it's a bit hard to write your essays. You guys will start with just a little bit to begin with, but I assure you, you really want to take in account to having a structure. If you have a structure, it's a little bit easier to write. I give my advice to people that I've tutored is that just write all of your thoughts down. Doesn't matter if they're not grammatically correct yet. This is just a draft. Just write all of your thoughts down and whatever you want to write, and then go back and start cutting things up later. You have all of these ideas just laying out all over for you, and all you need to do is just pick and select which ones you want, rather than just coming up short and not having any ideas at all. Don't forget to use your resources too. There are so many resources for you guys, me included, but there are so many resources near you guys that you guys should use. For example, your computer, your phone, your iPad. Look up examples of personal insight questions and how people respond. Don't copy them, but just look up these questions and how they answer them, because chances are you might find some inspiration from what they're writing. If they're writing about like their teenage years and how that changed their life, you probably are going to be like, oh snap, I want to write about my teenage years too. So you can use that as an inspiration, but don't copy word for word. Just because they offer their essay for you guys to read doesn't mean you guys should plagiarize. Plagiarizing is not going to help you, and you want to present the best of yourself. You don't want to present the best of someone else. Don't be afraid to use dictionaries and thesauruses, because your writing may sound repetitive when you write for 3 different essays and it's all about something about you and you just need to find some different words. So I really recommend that you guys look into getting a thesaurus or reading online to better your vocabulary while you're in this process anyways. On the note for getting better synonyms for your essay, I also recommend that you guys check out Grammarly, because I've used that for a while now for my essays, and they just catch the grammar mistakes that I didn't catch yet. Sometimes I even forget grammar stuff, even though I've spoke English for so long. So I know you guys probably have some issues with grammar as well. So I suggest you guys check out some proofreading tools. Grammarly is something that you can just plug into your Google Docs and it can just read your essay while you're writing. Remember guys, don't compare yourself to other people. You are so special and amazing, and every college that you apply to would be so lucky to have you. You just have to give a chance to them so that they can read some things about you. They can get to know you a little better besides your academic grades. I know a lot of students are struggling because they would read their friend's personal insight question and feel so much doubt with their personal insight questions. You guys should help each other out. I know it's a competition right now, but it's so nice to have some peer review to read in a non-judgmental way through your essays, and I'm pretty sure your friends are going to be so grateful for this advice that you give and some writing tips that you would give. So don't go comparing yourself to others. Just because they have some experiences that are a little different or sound a little better doesn't mean yours are bad too, okay? Your experiences are justified. Their experiences are justified as well. So don't go comparing yourself to other people. It's just not worth it, and you're just going to end up hurting yourself in the long run. Alright guys, that is the end of this this video. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really hope that I have helped you overcome this fear of personal insight questions. Again, I will be doing a later video about my personal insight questions and how I got into my schools of my choice. I really hope that you guys take this into account and really think about what you want to write for your personal insight question. Remember guys, this is really, really important, and I really hope that whatever I have said today has helped you and benefited you in some sort of way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I will be doing more college videos and college how-tos, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!